Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to understand the concept of Laplace transformation, its engineering application, existence, Laplace transformation of standard function, and linear property of Laplace transformation. We also solve some basic question based on standard function and property. So let's begin with the topic. So let's see the engineering application of Laplace transformation. First is system modeling. Laplace transformation is used to simplify calculation in system modeling where the large differential equations are used. Laplace transformation is basically used in solving differential equation. Laplace and inverse Laplace transformation both are used in solving differential equation calculation. Second is analysis of electric and electronic circuit. So in electric circuit, it is used to analysis of linear time invariant system. In electronic circuit, Laplace transformation is widely used to solve differential equation occurring in the analysis of electronic circuit. Digital signal processing, digital signal and system analysis, one cannot imagine the subject without Laplace transformation. Next is the nuclear physics and process control. So Laplace transformation in engineering applications, it is a very important topic and very important thing. So we have to learn this transformation. Basically, Laplace transformation is used to convert one variable into another variable. By Laplace transformation, what we can do, we can convert our time domain into frequency domain. So let's see definition of Laplace transformation. Let f of t be the given function defined for all t is greater or equal to 0, then Laplace transformation of function of t is defined by Laplace transformation of function of t. You can written this function Laplace transformation as phi of s, which is equal to 0 to infinity e raised to power minus st function of t dt. So this is formula by you can convert a function of t into another function of s. Okay, what is L here? So L is an operator you apply on function. So Laplace transformation of function of t, and it will become phi of s, means another function of s. Okay, s is a parameter, it may be real or complex. So you can convert a time domain function into frequency domain function by using this operator or by this transformation. Existence of Laplace transformation. Okay, you always use Laplace transformation when these two conditions satisfied of function of t. First condition is f of t must be piecewise continuous and f of t must be exponentially order. Okay, what is piecewise continuous? F of t must be piecewise continuous means it must be single valued but can have a finite number of finite isolated discontinuity for t is greater than 0. F of t must be exponential order. It means it must remain less than m e raised to power minus at when t approaches to infinity. When t tends to infinity, this function should be less than capital M e raised to power minus at. What is m here? M is a positive constant, a real positive number. So let's see one example how you can convert a function into another function of time into another function or another domain. So let us assume that our function of t is a constant function. This is first example where we take a function of t which is equal to 1. You can take any other example of constant function. So f of t which is equal to 1, find Laplace transformation of function of t. Okay, so what is formula? Formula is 0 to infinity e raised to power minus st function of t dt. What you have to do, whatever function you have to put over here. Okay, so 0 to infinity e raised to power minus st or function of t we put 1 dt. Okay, So this is a integration, simple integration, e raised to power minus st dt. Okay, so e raised to power minus st integration is e raised to power minus st divided by minus s. Why minus s? Because we are doing integration with respect to dt, with respect to t. So our s is a constant, so we divide with constant. Okay, so here it is minus s, so we divide with minus s, and our integration limit is 0 to infinity. Okay, upper limit minus lower limit. So when you apply upper limit, so t approaches to infinity. So e raised to power minus infinity, it will become 0, and e raised to power 0. So you it will give you number e raised to power 0 divided by minus s. So e raised to power 0 is 1 divided by minus s. So it will have final value 1 upon s. So you can see over here, you can convert a function into another function, that is s function. You can convert a time domain into frequency domain. A linear property of Laplace transformation. As you can see, Laplace transformation is nothing but it is an integration. So it follow linear property. Linear property means if the function of t be the given function defined for all t is greater or equal to 0, such that Laplace transformation, and we here write some function of t like gt and ht. So gt and ht, by meaning of g and h, is two different kind of function only. Okay, one is suppose sine t, so another is t square kind of. So Laplace transformation of AGT plus BHT, where A and B are constant. So what you can do, that is A Laplace transformation of GT plus B Laplace transformation of HT. Whatever constant function, you can take it out from the integration. Similarly, in the Laplace transformation, whatever constant you have, you can take it out from the Laplace transformation. Okay, you can prove this by your formal definition. So let's see Laplace transformation of standard function. Standard function means constant, exponential function, and trigonometric function, and so on. So Laplace transformation of 1 is equal to 1 by s. We proved in previous slide. Laplace transformation of e raised to power at, which is equal to 1 upon s minus a. We can prove that by using a formula of Laplace transformation. Laplace transformation of e raised to power at, which is equal to 0 to infinity e raised to power minus st e raised to power at dt. Okay, what is the formula? Formula is Laplace transformation of function of t, which is equal to 0 to infinity e raised to power minus st function of t dt. So at the place of function of t, we write e raised to power at. Okay, then integration of this part. So both are exponential power. So we can write e raised to power minus s minus a t, and we integrate with respect to t. So divide with constant, and constant is coefficient of t, that is minus s minus a. Why we wrote minus in bracket outside of the bracket? Because e raised to power minus infinity, when t tends to infinity, it will be 0. So that's why we write a negative sign out of the bracket, and e raised to power 0, that is 1. So we get value 1 upon s minus a. Next is Laplace transformation of e raised to power minus at. So we can prove that in similar manner as a second standard formula. Laplace transformation of sin at, which is equal to a s square plus a square. Laplace transformation of cos at, s upon s square plus a square. You can see here, when it is sin, constant is in numerator. When it is cos, a variable s is in numerator. Laplace transformation of sine hyperbolic at, which is equal to a s square minus a square. Laplace transformation of cos hyperbolic at, s upon s square minus a square. You can prove this all formula by using your basic definition or integration part, but not necessary in examination, in your engineering examination or many other competitive exam. They ask directly what is Laplace transformation of function. So you recall, or you remember this function, like when it is sine, your numerator always a, when it is cos, your numerator always s. Sine at function, so denominator is s square plus a square. Cos at function, then denominator is s square plus a square. But in case of hyperbolic, it is s square minus a square. You can prove sine hyperbolic at by using exponential formula also. Laplace transformation of t raised to power n, uh, t square, t cube, and so on. When it is t raised to power n, we can write this as gamma n plus 1, s raised to power n plus 1. Okay, gamma if it is not integer, if it is in form of fraction. When it is integer, you can write factorial n divided by s raised to power n plus 1. So now take Laplace transformation of standard function, and some example based on this is standard function. First, we know that Laplace transformation of 1 is 1 by s, that is our standard function. So suppose what is Laplace transformation of 4? So it will be 4 by s. Okay, 4 is a constant, we can carry out of the integration. So it will be Laplace 4 into Laplace transformation of 1, or you can say that it is 1 by s. So Laplace transformation 4 is 4 by s. Next is Laplace transformation of e raised to power at, where a is a constant. So Laplace transformation of e raised to power at is 1 upon s minus a. So what is Laplace transformation of e raised to power 2t? So it will be 1 upon s minus 2. Laplace transformation of e raised to power minus at, which is equal to 1 upon s plus a. So Laplace transformation of e raised to power minus 3t, it is equal to 1 upon s plus 3. When it is negative sign, it will be positive. When it is positive sign, it will be negative. Next is Laplace transformation of sine at, a upon s square plus a square. Okay, so let's take example Laplace transformation of sine 4t. So it will be 4 upon s square plus 4 square. What is 4 square? 16. So 4 upon s square plus 16. So this is value of Laplace transformation of sine 4t. What is Laplace transformation of cos at? So s upon s square plus a square, a is any constant. So we can see here Laplace transformation of cos 3t. 3 is constant, cos 3t is s upon s square plus 3 square. S upon s square and 3 square is 9. So it will be 9. In case of sine, numerator is constant. In case of cos, numerator is s. Laplace transformation of sine hyperbolic at, a upon s square minus a square. So Laplace transformation of sine hyperbolic 2t, a upon s square minus 2 square, or a upon s square minus 4. Cos hyperbolic at, s upon s square minus a square. So s upon s square, and here we have cos hyperbolic t. Constant is 1. So s square minus 1 square. Next is Laplace transformation of t raised to power n. Okay, so in case of integer we use factorial form. In case of fraction we use gamma form. So here I am using both cases. If we have to find Laplace transformation of t raised to power 3 by 2, so it will be gamma 3 by 2 plus 1, because formula is gamma n plus 1 divided by s raised to power n plus 1. So it will be gamma 5 by 2 s raised to power 5 by 2. And when it is Laplace transformation of t square, so it will be 2 factorial divided by s raised to power n plus 1. So 2 factorial is 2 s raised to power 3. So you can understand a basic formula or standard formula. By using standard formula, we have to solve this Laplace transformations. So let's take one example based on standard formula and linear property. Question number 1. Find Laplace transformation of 3 e raised to power 2t plus 2 sine 4t plus t cube plus 5. Solution: by using linear property, what we can do? We can find Laplace transformation of separately of each term. So 3 Laplace transformation of 2t, 2 is constant, so plus 2 Laplace transformation of 4t plus Laplace transformation of t cube plus 5 Laplace transformation of 1. So now we can use our standard formula, that is e raised to power 2t formula is e raised to power at, which is 1 upon s minus a. So 3 e raised to power 2t, it will be 3s minus 2 plus 2 Laplace transformation of sine 4t. So what is sine at formula? Sine at formula is a divided by s square plus a square. So 2 sine 4t will be 4 divided by s square plus 4 square, that is 16. So it will be 8 upon s square plus 16. Next term is Laplace transformation of t cube. So Laplace transformation of t raised to power n, but given n is what, integer. So we can write n factorial divided by s raised to power n plus 1. So 3 factorial divided by s raised to power 3 plus 1. What is 3 factorial? It is 6. So 6 divided by s power 4. And the last is Laplace transformation of 1. So it will be 5 upon s, because Laplace transformation of 1 is 1 by s. 5 is constant. So it will be 5 upon s. So solution of this question is 3s minus 2 plus 8s square plus 16 plus 6 s raised to power 4 plus 5 upon s. So Laplace transformation, you can find this question by using standard formula as well as linear property. I hope you all understood the concept of Laplace transformation and able to solve standard function by using Laplace transformation formula and linear property. In next video, I'll explain the first shifting, second shifting theorem of Laplace transformation and example based on this theorem. Stay tuned. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.